Jack, it's the Australian Grand Prix again, not Bahrain. You know, Bahrain used to be the first race of the season, then Australia came back. But what do you think for this one then? Who's going to win the first race? Do you think Ferrari...
Straight in there. That's
straight
the first
in
question
there.
you asked.
Straight in the deep end.
Do you think Ferrari can make it 3 in a row?
I think so, yeah. I mean, you know, we've discussed Sebastian Vettel's won the last 2 in a row now. You know, Ferrari looked dominant in Australia in the first rounds, but as we've seen, you know, that sort of disappears, and Mercedes go on to win the constructors, and Lewis Hamilton's gone on to win the drivers. So, you know, they always look good at the start, but, you know, here's hoping not only that, but that they go on to push Lewis Hamilton for the title this year. I think, you know, Ferrari look like they're going to win it. They look like the faster car in winter testing. You know, we don't know the true form of all the cars. It'll be interesting to see practice.
Williams.
Well, we know what Williams are going to be like. Not a lot, but yeah, it'll be interesting practice on Friday to see, you know, what the times are and what the cars do, and then ultimately qualifying. You know, that will tell us then who has the fastest car on the grid. But, you know, here's hoping Charles Leclerc puts in a good performance as a rookie in his first season with Ferrari.
Who loves Charles Leclerc more, you or me?
I think we love him equally.
Disagree. Yeah, completely disagree. Do you have him on the background of your phone?
No, I don't.
Exactly.
No, I don't.
Exactly. I mean, yeah, we won't talk about the things we talked about during the music break, you know, obscene things of Charles Leclerc. But, you know, it looks as though are you confident it'll be Ferrari then?
To win the
first race?
I think so. I think Ferrari look, unless Mercedes pull out an absolute massive upgrade on Friday and really is impressed.
I feel like I just feel like they're going to save it for, well, not Bahrain either. Maybe Azerbaijan again. I'm not sure.
It's a possibility. I mean, I think, you know, Mercedes would be the type of team that would be like, we'll see what Ferrari can do. You know, Ferrari bring their best package, and then we can beat that a couple of races later. And you know, that would be good to see. I think Bottas, obviously, for Mercedes, he needs to start out, you know, straight out on the blocks, because he is a driver that's a little bit under pressure this year. We know that Esteban Ocon is their third driver, and he will be knocking on the door if Bottas has a poor year like last season. So I think Bottas needs to start well. Hamilton looks ready for it. He's, you know, everybody's already in Melbourne and sort of ready to go. And I think,
well, I don't know. Lewis might be still in Qatar. You know, he's been partying with Valentino, but
of course he was.
Yeah.
He's probably doing another clothing line, wasn't he?
Oh God!
But I think, you know, having it in Melbourne is great, because atmosphere-wise, it's probably better than having it in somewhere like Bahrain and that. And you know, the fans, the Australian fans, love Formula One, and they all turn up. And Daniel Ricciardo obviously starts the season at his home Grand Prix. So let's hope Renault have a surprise, because again, we don't know what they're going to be like either.
Conor, the drivers' lineup makes a little bit of a new era. You know, no Fernando Alonso for the first time since he arrived into F1 in 2001. We've got Charles Leclerc at Ferrari, as we keep mentioning. Pierre Gasly at Red Bull. Then we have Ricciardo at Renault. Oh, it's exciting.
Yeah, it's looking great. Australia is always a great place to start the calendar as well, because it's one of the highest attended Grand Prix of the calendar year too. Loads of people attend it. It's always a fascinating one to watch, because, you know, it is the start of the season and you don't know what to expect. You know, I don't think anyone expected Haas to do as well as they did in qualifying last year, and then I don't think anyone expected them to crash out either by failing to put their tires on their cars properly. You know, two guys, and I'm sure if you watch,
that's like a non-F1 fan. What's that about?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
Just watch the documentary. Have you got Netflix?
I have, yeah.
There's a documentary on
the new documentary series.
Drive to Survive.
It's a terrible name.
What an awful name.
Yeah, we don't like the name. It doesn't make sense.
But watch it, because it shows coverage, and it actually shows behind the scenes as well. And obviously we can't broadcast what it said, but Gunther Steiner, who's the boss at Haas, had a lot to say to the owner about how well the performance was. And
was it Gene Haas yet to speak?
Yeah, we kind of forgot to put the tires on the car as it left the pit lane. You know,
we messed up.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty basic fundamental of any kind of vehicle, especially an F1 car. It's like having tires on.
Yeah. So that's really the drama of Australia Grand Prix, and, you know, that's the start of the season. It was always great to see how things turn out. It'd be interesting to see if Ricciardo can push that Renault car to the limit, and see if he can be, you know, what he was at the start of last season, which was, you know, a potential a challenger for the championship if he could perform well in that Red Bull. You know, can he replicate that kind of result in the Renault and potentially push for that top 3 finish? I don't think anyone's ever finished in the podium Australian.
No, never. I would have thought Mark Webber had, but he didn't even.
No. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see. It'd be interesting to see how the battle between Leclerc and Vettel begins at Ferrari. Is Vettel the clear number 1, or is it going to be Leclerc challenging him throughout the season? You know, is Hamilton going to be able to, you know, do as well as he did last year? Is Bottas going to come in and potentially throw in a spanner in the works for, you know, pride and, you know, his ambition of wanting to win a world title? You know, and, you know, is Verstappen all that he says has to be, or is Gasly going to come in and potentially cause a bit of a stir there in the Red Bull garage as well? So yeah.
Well, we'll see, and then we'll wrap up and we'll ask for your. I tell you what, let's ask for your pole position and your race winner.
My pole position, I'm going to go with Vettel. I think Vettel will get pole in that Ferrari. I think they're doing really well there, and I think he'll probably win it as well. And that would mean he's going to be only the 2nd driver behind Michael Schumacher to win the Australian Grand Prix 3 years in a row.
Oh, right, interesting. Jack Price.
I think Vettel will get pole. And I think Charles Leclerc will win the race.
Go on, what am I saying? Yeah. That was a terrible high five. Yeah. I said Leclerc a few weeks ago as a joke. I'm still saying it as kind of a joke because I don't think I don't care about pole. It's all about who wins. So I'm going to go with Charles Leclerc, and for pole, I'm going to go for Max Verstappen.
Andy, who are you going to go with?
Yeah, who are you going to go with?
Jacques Villeneuve.
Yes,
good shout.
You know what's really funny? That's my brother's favourite driver.
Is it?
It's a controversial one, but yeah, it's my brother's favourite driver.
He's going to edge out Damon Hill on the final lap.
Yeah, yes, yeah. You see, you and my brother would get on very well.
Are you going to go with Sergio Sorokin? Is he going to win?
I'm going to go with this Charles fella that I keep hearing about, and Jamie was showing semi-naked pictures of.
You don't want to go for Sorokin. You don't want to go for Sorokin. Even when
Sounds like a sickness.
Even when it is a sickness. Even when he's in last place, he doesn't move out the way for the car that's in first. And
in that case, no, I'm going to go with him. If there's someone who's like that, who's a bit of an arse.
He's not even in Formula 1 anymore. So.
I feel like I need to go over our old videos on our channel and do a compilation of times when Conor Porter doesn't like Sergei Sorokin.
Yeah,
we may have to do that. But anyway, we're going to quickly wrap up.
And how his love for Verstappen grew over time. It was like a rom-com. It all started off badly, and then it grew, and then now I love him completely. And I hope he does well.
He's always been under your nose. Then you realise my love was always there.
Love was there all along.
It was always there all along.
It was the Ferrari.
Could make a romance
it was the Red Bull driver next door. That's what it was.
Yeah.